Good, Bill. Thank you. All right, let's see. Got that. We're doing that. And okay, I think we are
Hello,
good.
everyone.
Welcome, 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 everyone. Happy Saturday, February 3rd. It is time for AMAs with the amazing Robert Hollis. AMA because it's Ask Me Anything. That's the bottom line. So here is the opportunity you get to ask any question of Robert Hollis, a certified multimillionaire. He has helped 67 people millionaire, and his goal is to help each and every one of you also become a millionaire, and not even just a millionaire. He wants you to enjoy freedom, and that is also part of this. So, we're a few announcements before we get things going. First of all, thank you each and every one of you for supporting us. We right now are at 6,937 subscribers to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. We want more. We're on our way to 7,000 and beyond. So please, ladies and gentlemen, share this with everybody. And we want to make sure that the message gets out, because we're all about sharing with you the unlimited wisdom that we have. So there's that. Also, gotta send a welcome, and I know it's a little early, but she did it in the chat earlier today on YouTube. So we gotta give a shout out to Wanda Henderson for joining the Inner Circle. Thank you so much, Wanda. Welcome to the next layer, the next level of what we do here on Ask Me Anything, where we get to go into more depth and more personal one-on-one interaction with you as a member of the Inner Circle. And for anybody who wants to be a part of the Inner Circle, it's very simple to do. If you're watching us on YouTube right now, there is a link at the top of the chat that says Join the Inner Circle. Click on that link and then follow the steps. You can join the Inner Circle. Or you can click the button down below this video where it says Join. The third way to do it is to go to roberthollis.com/join, and you can become part of our Inner Circle. Several Inner Circle members here, and if you're watching on YouTube, if you see a little IC next to the name, those are people that are part of the Inner Circle. So thank you, each and every one of you, for participating and becoming part of that group. And before I give our little nod to our gentleman that we will get started with, I got to let you know, again, this is Ask Me Anything. So you get to ask a question of Robert Hollis. And it's very simple to do. If you're on YouTube or in the Zoom chat, go ahead and type your question in those chats, and we will ask it on your behalf. But the nice thing about AMA is that you get the opportunity to ask Robert directly, one-on-one with Robert. So very simple to do that. Look for a button at the bottom of your screen. So you put your cursor in the middle of the screen here if you're watching us on Zoom. If you're watching us on Zoom, put your cursor in the middle of the screen, look on the bottom, you'll see a bunch of buttons. One of them is either reactions, you click on that, or click on more, and then you'll be taken to a list of tabs, one of which is reactions. When you get into the reactions section, click on raise hand, and then we will call on you in the order that we receive it, as well as, if we have other questions that go on. That all being done, it is time to officially get things rolling. And of course, we got to give the gentleman the first word. Now, this man, again, I've mentioned, is helped 67 people become millionaires. Would you like to be one? Please follow, because it is his goal to help us all move to the next level. So, without further ado, allow me to introduce the amazing Robert Hollis!
Thank you so much, Craig, the hostess with the mostest. And for those of you that see this new live or recorded, I just pray that one day you have someone like the amazing Craig Jackman to introduce you. Every one of you need to feel that kind of feeling. And I just thank you very much again for getting on here and supporting. Craig said it the most. If you guys haven't plugged into me before, they asked me anything last week was pretty out there. It's a lot of them are sometimes. And believe it or not, our inner circle actually went deeper than than that. And so the only opening that I have for you guys today is that it is bizarre to me, and I've done this. I've 100% done this, that the way that we sort through people in normal life is like no resistance whatsoever. Do you notice you don't try to convince anybody? If they have any excuse, you just let it go. You don't care. You don't take it personal. And so what we're coming up to is the Super Bowl, right? So can you guys imagine, first of all, you either like football or you don't. So if there's 100 million people watching it, which this is not true, let's say they were all in the United States. That would mean 1 out of 3 people like and watch football. Okay? So imagine this. Imagine you decide to have a Super Bowl party. And some of you go, man, Robert, I'm good with imagination, but I can't go this far with you. Okay, just imagine that you're gonna throw a Super Bowl party, right? So all of a sudden you decide to just go all out, man. Make this a big deal. You would immediately go to your co-workers, right? And the people that are your friends and family, and you would say, hey, Lisa Marie, what are you and Freddie doing? We're going to have a Super Bowl party. And if Lisa Marie goes, our team didn't win, so we don't watch the Super Bowl. I'm like, oh, all right. Sorry that your team didn't win. Isn't it funny that no matter what someone would ask us, if we invited them to a Super Bowl party, no matter what they asked us, it would be okay. It would be okay. We would wish them well, and we would move on. But as soon as you get involved in a home-based business, now everything's a rejection. Everything. Because we put ourselves out there that way, right? So we reach out and say, hey, Lisa Maria, do you know anyone that would like to make some extra money? It's like the way that you say it, the feelings behind it, and the just like, nah. Oh my God, Robert, I said exactly what you say, and they said no to me. And oh my God, it's like, but again, what if someone asked you? Someone asked you, hey, I'm having a Super Bowl party. You want to come over? Robert, don't you live in Yellowstone, Montana? Yeah. But I thought I'd invite you. Yeah, that ain't happening. Now, would you guys get mad if I said, hey, Coach Bob, hey, listen, I'm having a Super Bowl party. What if he turns around and says, me too? We do it every year. In fact, I do fantasy football. And a lot of people that I share with on how to bet properly, I help them. And we also do the square things. Robert, are you aware of the square things? No, I'm not aware of the things. Hey, listen, we all throw money in and we pick out a square. And if the score ends with that square, you win the pot. Bob, I don't know what you're talking about, but I know one thing. Your Super Bowl party sounds a lot freaking more exciting than mine. And that's what you guys do. You run into people that are connected, that have just a little more enthusiasm than you and excitement, and it gets you to second guess your whole freaking life. It's like, wow, Bob sounds excited about his Super Bowl party. And he had this benefit and this benefit and this value and this value and this value. And he's like, Robert, just call everyone you know that you invited to your party and invite them to mine. I'm like, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I guess I would do that, but I'm not as excited as you are, Bob. Hey, you want to put together a conference call or maybe a Zoom, and I'll get on there and tell them how great my party is. Wow. Okay. Okay. And I know a lot of you are hearing a lot of similarities, in inviting. Why can't you just go, okay, there's 5% of the people, 10% of the people in the United States that makes over 100,000. Wouldn't it be better to find people that want to make 100,000 or more, that are throwing their own parties, that are doing their own Super Bowl parties, instead of trying to find someone that says, I hate football? Oh man, you got to let me talk you into it. You got to let me convince you to be a football fan. It's like, you would never do that, would you? But we do it in this business all the time. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Dee. Hi, Jody. Hello, everyone. So that was the only opening that I wanted to do. Another one that I just wanted to say is, a lot of people have reached out to me and say, what if I don't know what I want? Let me give you a want. Ready? I want to know what I want. Okay? Ask yourself that question. I want to know what I want. Because when you really can get connected to what you want in life, and you're connected in that, this business is easy. But most people don't succeed at anything in life because they don't know what they want. So, I'm going to let you guys know up front. I'm going to notify Craig right now. This one will be done at the top of the hour. For those of you that want more, Ask Me Anything, watch last Saturday's. I think it was 5 hours. I don't remember.
Yeah, though it was a good one last Saturday. I'll post the link in the chat so that everybody can go back to it, because OMG, it was incredible and so many great nuggets. So, awesome. Okay. Are we ready to rock and roll this?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, first of all, I got to give a shout out to Bill Shoemaker. Now, I know Bill's got his hand up and he's coming up, but I got to let everybody know. Bless you, Bill. Thank you so much for your donation. The kids that Robert helps support will love you for it. It all goes to the kids. And if you're watching us on YouTube, there's a button down below the chat that's got a $sign inside of a box. Click on that, and any donations whatsoever will go to the organization that Robert supports, which is Orphan Kids. So, Bill, thank you so very, very much. But before we get to Bill Shoemaker, we have to go chat with Coach Bob Johnson. So, Coach Bob, there you go. Please unmute yourself and share. Boy, I think my tongue, I got to work on that a little bit more.
Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hey, Bill, way to go. We really appreciate you in the inner circle everywhere. Robert, love and appreciate you. Craig, Matt, all you guys. Okay, so my question is about my daily choice, kind of going to my daily choice. What makes my daily choice one of the better marketing companies you've been in? I'd like to know your feelings on that. If you have a couple of the reasons.
Thank you. I if you were going to just rattle them off for me personally, the vision of Josh Weigel and the genius of this guy. The one thing that I've said to a lot of people, Bob, if they're looking for any kind of business whatsoever, why not find a mentor first? See, I'd rather find someone that's documented in helping other people succeed. I'd rather find someone like that and lean on their expertise of what is good in a bad opportunity. See, I think that people all the time go in their mind, oh my God, I think this is the best company ever. And if you were in the court of law and before you got to testify, someone stood up and said, well, wait a minute, Coach Bob, can you explain to everybody what your credentials are and why you look at yourself, or, you know, the defense looks at you as being an expert? I got nothing for you.
Right.
It's like, so we all want to justify our decision correctly, right? So when I seen that Jenna's Wago out-earned me, okay? So some of you might think, well, Robert says he's not money-oriented, but I am documentation and evidence-oriented, okay? Okay. So when I knew that Jenna's Wago made more per month than I ever had made, my best month was 281, and I believe hers was like 285 at that time. And so if someone made more money than me, my next question was really simple. What did you make in your other programs? Oh, I've never really made any full-time income. So why not made any money before and now you go to $1 million a month? Oh, Josh Wago. Hey, all right. See what I mean? So I look at Josh Wago and I not only see just an incredible human being, but you know, if you really Google his name, he's ranked as a master chess player. He's outgiven Terry and I. And for those of you that have been in my organization or been something that I've done in the past, Josh Wago and Jenna's Wago are the only two people my wife's ever trusted. And so very interesting, you know what I mean? Sure. So when you look at My Daily Choice, I think the biggest thing that I really love about the company is the option of free. I just don't believe that people use it like it's supposed to be done. If they come from a world where they were taught that the only thing to do with people is slam them for money, it's like they almost come up with this phrase that says, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained, if a person doesn't put something on the line. And when I met my mentor and he asked me, where did I see myself getting started? I said, nowhere. I don't have any money and I don't have no electricity. I was one of those people that I had my victim and my blaming story down to an art. You know what I mean? And so if he would have told me, well, Robert, when you get the money, that's the only way I know you're serious. I'll see you later. I would have never gotten this industry and I never would have caused the ripple that I did. Instead, he looked at me, Bob, and said, hey, listen, if I could show you how to get income for you, if I could show you how to do this without you investing a dime, would you be interested? Absolutely. And then, so the mentor was first, the mentorship and seeing what he did, he was documented. You know, then I was not only documented with helping Jenna and Barb and Judy. These are people that already hit the super affiliate. Of course, Chris Robinson was his best friend in a previous company. And when you find people and people follow you for years, there's something there. If the person follows you and keeps following you, that's another sign. So I thank you for asking the question, because you're bringing things out of me that I know that everybody wouldn't look at. And so then the next thing I understand for duplication is not only the free option, but people never really get a chance to like dive into something without going in debt. So for a company in this day and age to be able to give you the back office and the mobile app and everything that you could utilize to get your first pay income from MDC, it's all free. And so again, I know the free model works because I look at people like Amazon and you know, Facebook and Apple. There's all these billion-dollar companies that think allowing you to have an account for free is just a good damn idea.
Sure.
And by building trust and getting people to know, like, and trust you, They're just bidding that they can put so much value on that you'll eventually upgrade. And so the other parts of the comp plan that I think that a lot of people don't get is how Josh has been so intelligent to focus on every person that would get involved in something like this. First one is that I'm not interested in recruiting or prospecting or sponsoring. I just want to build a customer base. Can I get in a company and make a full-time income, but just acquiring customers? I think that's funny because I'm talking to you and you were number one for the whole last year on just that one thing that no, you don't have to build a team. And then Josh set it up where not only do you get virtually the same amount from the first month to every month after that on your customer base, but you could use your customer base volume to qualify your position. That is very rare. That is very, very rare. Now you take the best of affiliate marketing or influencer marketing, and then you add the best of what is involved in the network marketing platform. So there's people that have the unilevel, and then they have sort of like a matrix, and then they have a stair-step breakaway, and then they have a binary. There's a lot of different names. And what Josh Weigels did is he said, well, what's the best of this program? And what's the worst of this program? And he just added all of those into a compensation plan. I've never seen someone that could make multiple six figures by do nothing but sponsoring one individual. That does not happen. Most companies try to find a way to take that money away from you. And so the ability of someone like you or anyone that's watching this to sponsor me and just their 30% off that first level could actually put them in a multi six-figure income by just introducing one person. I just think that's miraculous. And then what Josh is too is Josh is just constantly evolving. You know what I mean? So not only all the products out there, but I just know that, if I run into somebody and they love a certain way of marketing, that's usually available in MDC. And if it was creating, because of the thing bad about affiliate marketing is, again, you can learn to be an affiliate marketer, but to get paid in multi-tiers. See, the thing that got me in this industry from day one was a gentleman that was 5 years older than me, making $62,000 a year. And when I asked him how he did that, he said to me, well, I have 30,000 people responsible for my income. And I went, I'd like to have some of that. And one of the things too is listening to a lot of people that are more successful than I am, Coach Bob, it's this whole concept that, that I just don't think that people are willing in this day and age. And if they are, they'll get massive results. Is that people are not willing to get involved in something and learn the right basic ways of doing whatever that is. They just usually do what they think they should do, or listening to, hundreds of different people and they're piecing together that recipe. So I got involved in this industry because someone told me that if I put my head down, that I could do, instead of 40 years and at a job, that I could actually pull this off in 4. And I believed in it so much that I pulled it off in 2. So, I always said, man, if I could make 6 figures, that'd be awesome. And I think my first full year, I always say that. I know my first full year, I made $258,000. And my very first year of this industry, by saying as little as possible to as many people as I can, as fast as I can, and getting the ones that had ears to hear to watch a short video, and then magic. And so, great question.
Great answer. Just one more quick one, and then I'll go, and then I'll let Bill go. What would you say to someone that, since it's been around for 7 years, usually network companies don't stay around 7 years. So since it's around 7 years, is there going to be any more growth? Is there any growth left? What's your feeling on that?
Okay, you guys are going to crack up when I tell you this. So when I really want to hone in on someone and get all the knowledge I can from somebody, that right now, of course, is Jerry and Esther Hicks. And if you go to Esther's Wikipedia page, I was telling Craig this before we started. Esther met Jerry Hicks, and what they said Jerry Hicks did was he was a top Amway distributor. I was going like, ah. So when people first heard of Jerry and what he was sort of teaching was the basics out of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which of course came from Dexter Yeager or whoever, right? And so, you know, when you look at this industry, just the opportunity of buying products at wholesale and selling to retail, the very first company that pulled that off was Watkins. And believe it or not, it's like a 150-some-year-old company. And then the multi-tier aspect of it was thought of by a guy named Rich Schnackenberger. If you guys want to see the history of this industry, I did a thing with Ron Henley. And so when you're doing this business correctly, you know, the company was founded in 2014, and so it's 2024. So now we're on that 10-year deal. So I think it was November. So they just turned 9 years old. But you know, if we're founded in 2014 and it's 2024, you know, so the question that you have is everything goes through an evolution. And when I talk about evolution, you know, we know people like Apple that did a commercial at a Super Bowl, like quite a few years ago. And so talk about an evolving of things where you're thinking of an MP3 player, you know, that's called an iPod, and where we are today with the Pro Vision, where, you know, you're basically it's a wearable computer is what it is. And you're sort of like going, wow, man. So I'm betting there's one guy that friendly competition, I'll call it, was my upline in my first company. And his name is Jeff Roberti. He's been with the same company for 37 years, probably 38. And he's got over 1 million people on subscription. 1 million active people on subscription. So, you know, it's cool to be known in this industry as someone that's made the kind of income that I have lifetime. But to actually still have people that I look out to that has doubled the amount of income that I've earned. That's pretty fascinating to me. So that was probably a long answer like I do to, I know that I believe right now with everything in my fiber that this will probably be my last company. So that's how long I plan on building it, because when things are not working correctly, all you need to do is go back to the basics and it starts all over again.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So you go back to the basics of asking people if there was a way to take their buying power away, you know, from Walmart and Target and Costco and Amazon, get better quality products with a money back guarantee, move those products over here, see if they work for you. And if they work for you, do that same thing to help people move their buying power. Once that happens and you do that to a few and they do that to a few, now you got your products for free, which means we put $200 back into your budget. So I think that if you talk to anybody in any household that runs the budget and just went to them saying, if there was a way for you to do something that would take hardly any of your time, and you could put an extra $200 in your budget every month, and with the chance of it going higher, would you be interested in looking at it?
Oh, yeah.
So that company that I told you about with JerryHicks, it's still number one. It did 8 billion in sales, and it's been going for 63, 64 years. And everyone in the world says one thing about Amway: my company's better than them. Yeah. It's like my products are better, my comp plan is better, our marketing is better. Oh, well, who made the most money last year? Oh, Amway. Hey, this is funny, you guys. Me and Terry went on date night last night, and while we were driving, all of a sudden Terry looks over and they go, "Oh my God, it was a pink Cadillac, a new one, a brand new one." And write in white letters that you could hardly read unless you were looking for them, Mary Kay. And I'm just like, yeah, if someone wanted to Google, find out how much money Mary Kay is making, it's like, it's really mind-boggling to me that there's still a majority of the world that doesn't think that providing value to people while showing them to make extra income for their family is a bad thing. See, it's just in the way that we explain it or present it, because it comes across as sales, right? So if someone said, "Robert, I need to make money immediately or I'm going to get evicted." And I'm like, "You got a car?" "I do got a car." "Become an Uber driver." But that sounds like work. I guess if you do nothing, you're gonna wait a minute. If you're going to do nothing, you're going to make nothing. Yeah, I get it. So it doesn't make a difference how easy the opportunity is, right, Bob? It's like, it's either that that's too beneath me. I don't want to do that. It's like, listen, man, every building that I have around me here in Billings, Montana, outside Billings, Montana, they're still signing up people and giving them upfront money bonuses for working at places like McDonald's, our Burger King. So it's like, yeah, I get it if you don't want to work. If you don't want to do anything, I don't think anything works. I'm still trying to lose weight by thinking about it. And and it's like, hey, it's the thought that counts, right, Coach Bob?
Right.
So did that help you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Robert. Love and appreciate you, Craig. Matt.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful weekend, guys.
I love and appreciate you too, Coach Bob. I'm proud of you.
Yep. Thank you.
Coach Bob, thank you so much and appreciate you very, very much. Okay, Bill Shoemaker. Come on. Let's go. Hands up. Wake up. Wake up. I know you're getting your last minute things in to make sure you know what you're going to say, Robert. Okay, so you've unmuted yourself. Please open up and share with us.
Thank you, the amazing Craig Jackman. You are just incredible, brother. Thank you for all you do.
How are you, my friend? Mr. Shoemaker?
Yeah. So, Robert, yeah, you mentioned Abraham Hicks and how they found out about it. He liked Think and Grow Rich, but he says it doesn't work for very many people.
Right.
And that's what made him discover Abraham.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, totally. That's some of the things that I've been going back to, Bill, is it was funny. I talked to Mark Casetta yesterday. We talked for about an hour or so. And I said, I know I've said this to you guys before, but I don't think I could say it enough. I went to Mark and I said, here's how simple this industry is when I first seen my mentor speak on stage. No, wait a minute. He wasn't on stage. He was just in front of the room because there was only like 25 people there, right? And when I heard what he made, and then I heard what he said, which is things I've never heard before. And then he sort of did this plan. It's like, the old Amway people still say, Bill, how many times did you show the plan? How many times did you show the plan this week, right? Right. And so when he showed that plan and I could see that I could help other people get premium quality products that would enhance them and their families' lives, and if they liked them and shared them with others, they could actually make extra money for their family. And I think I heard Dexter Yeager say this one time, this business, to be able to be a multimillionaire doing this business, takes very simple people. It really, really does. Because most people are too freaking smart to make money. Me, I'm going, if I'm in front of this guy and he inspires me and touches me, all I could think, Bill, is I believe him. I see that he's got documentation and evidence. Then he showed me documentation of other people that he taught to do this. So if he can do it and they can do it, not that I need $60,000 a month, but I think he could show me how to make 6. And that's more than I made as an auto mechanic. So why wouldn't I give this a shot? Why wouldn't I do exactly what he told me to do? And so it is fascinating to me that, you know, when it said in the Wikipedia page of Esther Hicks that Jerry was a very successful top Amway distributor, I'm telling you what, I just almost had tears of joy, because it just keeps coming back. You know what I mean? And I think, wow, then all of a sudden Rhonda Byrnes finds out about Jerry and Esther Hicks and teaching this thing called Law of Attraction. So I went on her Wikipedia page, Bill, and I was just reading it really slow, him and Jerry's. And Wikipedia says that the majority of the information came from a book that was written in 1902. And it was, let me grab this for you guys. So that's funny. That's a good thing that I posted that in there right before we, yeah, let me grab it here. And yeah, it was just on the Wikipedia page. And the guy is named Williams Walker Atkins. And listen to this, you guys. He started a thing called New Thought Association back in the 1988, you know, I mean,
1880.
Yeah, 1880s. And so I was like, this just fascinates me that Think and Grow Rich went back to The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wallaces in 1910. And then I'm thinking, this guy wrote a book in 1902 about really simple, for those of you that get freaked out on the word law of attraction. Let me really, really, really dumb it down to you. You become what you think about the most.
Simple.
And most people spend all day, every day thinking about stuff they don't want to happen. I wish we wasn't in war. I wish there wasn't an election. I wish these 2 idiots wasn't running. I wish the government would stop doing this. Why does this happen? You know, it's like everyone's all involved in this stuff. And so when I seen that read that, here's the basics of their principles and why they think, and this all came out from a book that was written in 1902. And I'm going like, you know, it really just goes to show that, like the finish what I talked about with Mark is, I looked at this guy and went, if this guy can do it and teach others, I can do this. To their degree, I don't know yet, but I know that I can do it. And so the really sorting question that I would ask people at the beginning, I even wrote it down because I knew it would come up. And Bill, thank you for not only being a credible super chatter and a credible friend, inner circle member. You're all of it, Bill. I just love you. And it says, and I took away the word who. So listen to the sentence exactly. What if when you talk to somebody, you just say, hey, Bill, if I could ask you a question really quick, what inspires you?
You inspire me. Well, true.
Well, that's humbling. Thank you very
Abraham
much.
Hicks, you know, Rhonda Byrnes. I got some cards from Rhonda Byrnes, manifestation
cool.
cards. Have faith is today's. Fear is putting trust in the bad. Faith is putting trust in the good.
Yeah. And so when you really, really hear the simplicity, when I first got involved in network marketing, they used to have this phrase, and maybe some people are still using it. is that if you don't know why you're doing this, you're just not going to do it. So they used to have this phrase, you got to have a why to make you cry. But my deal is I want to ask people, tell me what inspires you. If they come back with, what do you mean? They're just not connected. And so I know there's going to be some crazy people that are going to be out for Super Bowl. And see, we can laugh at them when they're not wearing any clothes and their faces are painted up and you know they're doing all this stuff and they all got their little chant, don't they? You know, oh, but when you got 80,000, 100,000 people going frickin' bananas, I'd rather be around them just being an auto mechanic and having something that inspires me all the time instead of just not being connected. So I've really looked at a lot of people out there because if they have what inspires you, oh my God, you know, Patrick Mahomes inspires me. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, you know, because Craig is probably inspired by music. Craig's inspired by actors and people that do plays, you know, and it's like you watch these people and people that are inspired usually have a pretty damn good life. So me and Mark both agreed that when we seen Bill and what he was creating, our mentor, he inspired us, and what he was doing inspired us, and where he was going with his vision inspired us. And that locked me in until I got my own. And sometimes you just lock into people long enough and then that season's over. You know, if we watch old movies, usually what happened to the person that inspires you is they die. You know, so, you know, Mike Tyson's coach, Rocky's coach, you know, we see this thing where all of a sudden the person that believes in you, that inspires you, gives you that inspiration, they're no longer around. And that's why I believe that people talk about the glory days, Bill. What inspires you? Football. Tell me when you were most inspired. Oh my God, my junior and senior year in high school was frickin' the bomb. You got some people that'll never miss a concert. You know what I mean? So if you can't find that thing that inspires you, you know what I mean? And you don't know what it is. It could be a song, it could be a movie, it could be something. But people that I feel that are lost and learned hopelessness, they just don't believe anymore. They don't have any hope, is because they feel like they're stuck and they feel like they're worthless. They're just uninspired. Because the thing that makes this world click is we always have new Olympic champions. We always have a new Super Bowl champion. I'm jacked out of my mind because NASCAR starts. You know what I mean? And they'll be at the LA Coliseum, you know, in the Busch Clash. And it's like, there's nothing crazier than to take a bunch of professional NASCAR people and put them on like the shortest track that's possible. Watching these guys with, you know, getting 100-mile-an-hour straightaway speeds on a half-mile track. It's just crazy. And they're in it and they all want first place and they all want to move each other out of the way. I find it fascinating. But then again, a lot of people might not. So Bill, I'm so grateful and thank you for saying that about me, because that's
Sure.
where I want to go.
Well, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And the inner circle inspires me. And hey, you know, talking about Josh Schwagel, I was talking to a gentleman on Messenger and he said, "Oh, I'm a good friend of Josh Schwagel. As a matter of fact, I was in MDC, but I just didn't want to sell sprays anymore." And he goes, "Josh is the smartest man on the planet." I go, well, if he's the smartest man, why aren't you working with him? You know? So
Yeah, it is pretty funny because people will focus in. I've had people, again, if we go back to where I started, Bill, this is where it'll make sense, honestly. You know what I mean? It's because if we just take it out of the contents of business and a way to make money, because as soon as we put it in a job, imagine, Bill, you and I all showing up at a multi-year class reunion because my city was so small, right? And I walk up to you and I go, Bill, I remember you in high school. Yeah. What are you up to now? You know, what do you do for a living? No matter what you say, I don't care. I just want you to be happy. See what I mean? It's like, I work at a funeral home. I dig graves. You know what I mean? I work at the sewage department. No, that's why there's these fancy names, right? I work for the city of Williston. I'm a city worker. And it doesn't matter because you're not trying to get me to come over there and get a job. And I'm a mechanic and I'm not, hey, Bill, you ought to quit your job and come be a mechanic. Doesn't that sound weird? We'd never do it. But then we get in this business and you go, hey, Josh is the smartest person I know. I just couldn't sell sprays. And he's like, well, we got 1,000 products now. Do you still suck at sales? If someone tells me that they didn't like something, I usually say, man, I'm glad you found out what you didn't like. Have you found what you do like? And by the way, Bill, I don't know you very well. What inspires you, man? Is there anything that if you knew that it was coming or that you listened to it or watched it or started to dive into it a little bit? Because see, there's a lot of things, you guys, that inspire me for a season, for a moment. You know what I mean? And then there's some things that can hang on to my attention. Why do I like MMA that starts in 10 minutes? I like MMA, and let me rephrase it. I like watching individual sports. And it's just what a human being is capable of doing. If you ask me what was my favorite Olympic thing, all of it. All of it. These guys that are doing cross-country skiing and then they got to slow down their breath while they plop down on their stomach and shoot a target and then get back up and go to the other target. I know some of you are going, Robert, there's a name for that sport. I don't know what it is. But Craig does. It's like, but I watch these people just do some I don't know what you would call it. Well, it definitely is extraordinary. It's like watching people do things that virtually no one else in the world can do. And they limit it down to the best in that country of all of them. And now the best of the best are competing against the best to get a gold medal. I just find that freaking awesome. I am flat out addicted to watching the very best of human potential. That all inspires me. Now, my son might be inspired by people that actually can write and turn that writing into books and scripts and then put that into storytelling. You know what I mean? And then directing and producing and camera. It's like, you get my son talking about anything to do with storytelling and movies. And you got to say, okay, Matt, yeah, I'm getting numb right now. You're how many of you have talked to somebody that's so passionate about what they do that they're like, you got to tell them, hey, is there any way we can change some subjects or something? It's like, but he loves it. You can see that he loves it. And I believe that if you can really truly find the passion and inspiration, where you guys know I love stories as well. So I love hearing people's stories, and then I love sharing those stories with you guys. And I just find that I'm constantly inspired. I just move from inspiration to inspiration to inspiration to inspiration. And with all that wisdom and knowledge, that's what I want to share with others to hopefully get them inspired.
Well, yeah, I want to thank you also for sharing the soul. Now, you'd recommended that before.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I watched the whole thing. I just thought it was stupid. And then I rewatched it. I got back Disney because I didn't have Disney, and watched it, and I was inspired.
Wow.
And like Joe Gardner, that's like our musician, John.
Yeah.
Right. And also I watched the Esther, the Abraham Hicks with Oprah, which was
that
amazing.
wild?
I had seen that before too, but I really got a lot out of it this time. And when you do stuff like that, it shows you other Oprah stuff. And she had Maya Angelou on there. Oh my God, she's amazing. Talk about inspiring. I'd watch that too.
Well, people want to know how far you can take this, right? It was amazing to me that we know what happened with Rhonda Byrne and The Secret. For those of you that don't know, I think I think she made just a little over $300 million with the making of that movie, following it up with the books and everything else, The Secret Behind the Secret. And it's like, so she ended up on Oprah, but then I thought, Oprah did so well in interviewing people with the right questions to ask that she owns her own network. I don't think anybody even remembers that happened. It's like, I'm not going to be on Fox, NBC, ABC, HBO. You want to find me? I'm the own network.
She was the first one.
Yeah. It's like, and go, okay, so now that I have my own network, now other people want to run their shows on her network, but then she gets to pick, and then she can have Soul Sunday. So it's funny, you really look what Oprah's pulled off. But as soon as she started talking about The Secret, then, all the know-it-alls, said, oh, well, it looks like they're doing the Church of Oprah now. It's like, all she's trying to do is interview the very best, wisest, people on the planet. And she was the very first person that did a master class. She was the very first person to create what we now know as a webinar. And it cost so much money, she got General Motors to sponsor it. And she had Eric Tolley on there, which was talking about being in the present, in the now.
Eckhart.
Yeah. So it's I love this stuff, Bill, and
So do you think she is connected?
I do.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, the one thing that I think that if we all, I believe in my heart, if we all looked at an individual as someone that we love because we love ourselves, and we can learn from anybody, because every person has their own journey of what they went through. I know for a fact that I can learn from anybody. Everyone on here, I know I could learn. I'd love to hang around, not only and watch John Tier perform, but one of my bucket lists is I'd love to watch not only Craig live, but also watch Tom. And some of you I don't know well enough to know that you do something that I could watch you do it. You know what I mean? But, Tom's always sending me nice little messages. It's like, okay, so I got to drive this certain amount of distance to go, go play the keyboards for the choir. And he sings, and it's like, oh my God, you got Jerome. He's one of those guys that are probably doing some kind of scratching records someplace, even though they don't have records anymore. DJ GJJM. Yeah. It's like, oh my God. So I love and appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Bill. I'm gonna let Craig close it out. And
so we need to have, well, there's one more network. You know, Tucker Carlson has his network, TCN now. There should be RHN network. Hollis network, huh? There you go.
Or maybe the Unlimited Wisdom Network.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Absolutely. So I love you guys. Know that I love you and appreciate you, and I believe in you. And thank you so much for jumping on the AMAs. I was going to apologize for the short one, but I ain't gonna.
Awesome.
Just know that you have everything that you need to do anything that you want. And most people don't move forward in life because they have nothing to look forward to. So do your very, very, very best to find that whisper, find that thing that, you know, for me, it was, I wanted to get out of school. I don't know what. Then it went from there that, you know, it would be cool to have a wife and a family. And then it's like, yeah, it'd be okay to have a decent job. And then you find out the decent job.
Uh-oh. I think we may have lost Robert. Okay. There you are, Robert. I don't know what happened. You stalled out.
I missed a year.
That's what happens when you throw it into the second gear and you hit the neutral, right? Or what was that called?
Did that come out of nowhere? There's like 50% of the people are like, what the hell just happened? Hey, if you want to disconnect, sometimes things just disconnect. Go ahead, Craig, close it up.
The universe knew, huh? They want you to watch your stuff. All right. Everybody, thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on the AMAs with the amazing Robert Hollis. And if you do want to get there was some things that we shared in the chats. It's very simple to do. Click on the 3 dots in the chat and then that are here in Zoom, and then click on Save Chat. And as soon as we wrap up here, that will download to your computer. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't worry, it's in the chat, and it will also be in the description below in just a few minutes after we wrap everything up. Shout outs to Coach Bob Johnson and Bill Shoemaker for participating, as well as Matthew Hollis for being our executive producer. We appreciate you, Matt. We love you, and thank you so much for being our foundation to keep us rolling. And take 2. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you, and we're glad that you could spend time with us here on the AMAs. And time that we go ahead and unmute those that are watching us here on Zoom as we say so long and thank you all very much. Be good to yourselves, be cash, and bye-bye.
Bye, Robert.
Great.
Love you all.
Great job, Robert.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, Dennis.
Bless you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Matthew.
Hi, Deb. Hi, Deb. Nice to see you. Thank you, Jody. Hi, Rebecca. Give Dee a hug for me. Hey, Jamie's doing the black and white version, man. That's pretty cool, man.
We're saying hello.
Oh, yeah.
Jerome, Melody, Peter and Linda. I love you guys. Daniel, Diane, Sarah, Manise, Jerome, Melody, Erlane. Manassi? Is that Manassi? Am I saying that correct?
Either that or Manas.
Sarah, love you guys. Thank you.